Now we will start with the Paras.
Shruti dear.
My phone is not there.
My phone I kept in the car.
Not Shruti.
Shruti is a paravaigala. Always has Shruti.
Parla uka se na break ही पड़ो सब्जी. Fast.
Pala phone में.
Yeah, anything goes. We have to no leave anything. No valuable.
Time went and the fire on that. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Gananam Tva Ganapatikum Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupavasravastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanasvadhana Sunvanno Divitti Rasadanam Mahaganapataye Namaha Prano Devi Saraswati Vajevirvajinivati Dhinama Vitrayavato Vagyey Namaha Om Sahanavavato Sahanam Bhunakto Sahavyayam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Jatavedase Sunavamato Mamanati Yato Nidahati Vedaha Tanah Parsyadati Durgani Vishwanameva Pindum Duritat Signihi Tam Agnivarnam Tapasa Jvalantim Tvairojanim Karma Phaleshu Juttam Durgam Devi Gum Saranamaham Prapadye Sutarati Tarate Namaha Agni Tvam Parayanavyo Asman Svasti Virati Durgani Vishwa Oshva Prithvi Bahulana Urvi Bhavato Kayatanayaya Jayo Vishwanino Durgaha Jatave Datsindun Nanava Duritati Parshi Agne Atrivan Manasa Gurano Svakam Bhodhya Vitatanuna Ritanajitagum Sahamana Mugramagnigum Humema Parama Sadastat Sanah Parsyadati Durgani Vishvakshamaddevo Adiduritatyagnihi Ratnohi Kamidyo Ardhareshu Sanachahotanam Yacha Satsi Swanchagne Tanuvam Vitraya Swasvabhyanta Sampagamaya Jasva Godhrijustamayijo Nishikantare Endra Vishnu Tanu Sancharema Nagasya Vishtamabhi Sampasano Vaishnave Lokari कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम तत्सत्। श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।
You sing Ajam Nirvikalpam, just just follow.
अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकम् अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकम् निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णम् निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णम् परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम गुणातीतमानं चिदानन्दरूपं गुणातीतमानं चिदानन्दरूपं चिदाभासकं सर्वगं ज्ञानगम्यं चिदाभासकं सर्वगं ज्ञानगम्यं मुनिर्देयमाकाशरूपं परेशं मुनिर्देयमाकाशरूपं परेशं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम जगत्कारणं कारणकारणरूपं जगत्कारणं कारणकारणरूपं सुरादिं सुखादिं गुणेशं गणेशं सुरादिं सुखादिं गुणेशं गणेशं जगत्यापिनं विश्ववन्द्यं सुरेशं जगद्व्यापिनं विश्ववन्द्यं सुरेशं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम। नमन करूं मैं गुरु चरण नमन करूं मैं गुरु चरण भव भय हरण वंदित चरण भव भय हरण वंदित चरण शरण प्रणत जन सुशरण नमन करो मैं गुरु चरण नमन करो मैं गुरु चरण कलिमल हरण सब सुख कारण कलिमल हरण सब सुख कारण अभय वितरण जगदोद्धरण अभय वितरण जगदोद्धरण पातक हरण पातक हरण गुरु चरण नमन करो मैं गुरु चरण नमन करो मैं गुरु चरण नमन करो मैं नमन करो मैं नमन करो मैं गुरु चरण Just follow after me. We will first sing, follow, and lead and follow, then we will sing together. Yes. We already know this. Bhajo man Rama Krishna, Rama Krishna, Rama Krishna. Bhajo man Rama Krishna, Rama Krishna, Rama Krishna. 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 Rama Krishna Bhajore, Rama Krishna Bhajore, Bhajo Mana Rama Krishna, Bhajo Mana Rama Krishna, 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 Rama Krishna. Rama Krishna, 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 Rama Krishna Bhajore, Rama Krishna Bhajore, Bhajo Mana Rama Krishna, Mana Rama Krishna. Can you try together now? Everyone. Bhajo man Rama Krishna, 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 Rama Krishna Bhajore, Bhajo man Rama Krishna, Bhajo man Rama Krishna. Rama Krishna, 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 Rama Krishna Bhajore, Bhajo man Rama Krishna, Bhajo man Rama Krishna, Rama Krishna, Rama Krishna. Rama Krishna, Rama Krishna, Rama Krishna, Rama Krishna, Rama Krishna, Rama Krishna, Rama Krishna Bhajore, Bhajo man Rama Krishna, Bhajo man Rama Krishna, 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 Rama Krishna Bhajore, Bhajo man Rama Krishna, Bhajo man Rama Krishna, Rama Rama Krishna, 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 Rama Krishna Bhadore, Bhado Mana Rama Krishna, Bhado Mana Rama Krishna, Bhado Mana Rama Krishna, Bhado Mana Rama Krishna, Bhado Mana Rama Krishna. If you know, just follow along. Omkara Vidya Purusha Purano, Omkara Vidya Purusha Purano, Buddhi Satsang Nithilasya Janto, Yo Veti Sarvam Natayasya Veta, Yo veti sarvam natayasya veta, paratma rupo bhuvi Rama Krishna, rupo bhuvi Rama Krishna, moksha swarupam tava dhama nityam, Moksha Swarupam Tava Dhama Nityam, Yata Tadapnoti Vishodhachita, Tatopadesta Khila Tattvaveta, Tatopadesta Khila Tattvaveta, Vishwadhata Bhuvi Rama Krishna, Vishwadhata Bhuvi Rama Krishna, Tejomayam Darshayati Swarupam, Tejomayam Darshayati Swarupam, Koshandarasam Paramatattvam Samsparshamatrena Unam Samadhim, Samsparshamatrena Unam Samadhim, Vidhaya Sadyo Bhuvi Rama Krishna, Vidhaya Sadyo Bhuvi Rama Krishna, Ragadishunyam Tava Saumya Murtim, Ragadishunyam Tava Saumya Murtim, Dreshva Punashchatana Janma Bhaja, Tane Yadadaya Vishuddhatattvam, Tane Yadadaya Vishuddhatattvam, Ihavatirno Bhuvi Rama Krishna, Ihavatirno Bhuvi Rama Krishna, Nakadilokam Sukadam cha divyam, Nakadilokam Sukadam cha divyam, Suram Yamaishwaryamaham Nayate, Hrudayadane Tvam Kripaya Sadavai, Hrudayadane Tvam Kripaya Sadavai, Vapetiyate Bhuvi Rama Krishna, Rama Krishna Yam Brahma Vishnu Girishascha Yam Brahma Vishnu Girishascha Jayanti Gayanti Namanti Nityam Sai Pratati Satya Paravataro Sai Pratita Satya Paravataro Vibhahudhari Bhuvi Rama Krishna Vibhahudhari Bhuvi Rama Krishna Vande Jagadvijamahakandamekam Vande Jagadvijamahakandamekam Vande Surairshitapadapitam Vande Bhavesham Bhavarogavaijam Vande Bhavesham Bhavarogavaijam Tameva Vande Bhuvi Rama Krishna Tameva Vande Bhuvi Rama Krishna Tameva Vande Bhuvi Rama Krishna. We will sing our Tavakatamritam together. Tavakatamritam Tatpajivanam Kavibiriditam Kalmashapaham Sravanamangalam Srimadasatam Krishna Bhuvi Granantaye Bhurida Jana Tavakatamrutam Sattajivanam Kavibiriditam Kalmashapaham Sravanamangalam Srimadasatam Krishna Bhuvi Granantaye Bhurida Jana.
Taking refuge in the holy feet of Sri Sarada Devi, Universal Mother, and Sri Ramakrishna, the teacher of the world, my humble salutations to them forever and ever. Kalyananam Avikala Nadihi Kapi Karunya Sima Nityamoda Nigamavachasa Mauli Mandhara Mala Sampadivya Madhu Vijayanaka Sannidattam Sadame Saisha Devi Sakala Bhuvana Prarthana Kamanenu. May Divine Mother, the infinite source of all auspicious things, the ultimate abode of compassion, one who is glorified in Vedas and Vedanta, the divine consort of Sri Ramakrishna, and the unique benefactor of all the worlds, always manifest before me. My humble salutations to you all. The story, once upon a time, there lived a very rich man in Benares. The other name of Benares is Varanasi. Can anybody tell me what is the meaning of Varanasi?
Varuna and Asi, 2 rivers. Varuna and Asi river.
Some new definition, I don't know.
Shiva temple is the abode of Lord Shiva.
That is okay. But what exactly the meaning of Varanasi? Okay.
Ganga goes to
No, your first thing is correct.
Varuna and Asi.
Do reverse count things also.
That is one meaning. But Varanasi has a very special meaning. The word Varanasi, why that name given to that place? We might have various significance on Kasi Vishwanatha, Annapurani, and so many other deities are all there. But Varanasi, the word is beautifully defined by Shankaracharya in his Vedanta Sutra commentary. That is first pada, second adhyaya, and 32nd sutra. That is first section, second quarter, and 32nd sutra. Bhagavad Pada beautifully defines what is Varanasi. Varana means, these two words are there, Varana and Asi. Divide that. Varana plus Asi. Varana means sins committed through our sense organs. We have Panchendriya, Jnanendriya, and sins committed, defects, blemishes, committed through these faculties. Asi means destruction. So the place signifies a place of purification. So when we go there, all the sins that we commit through our senses will be destroyed. That is why it is named as Varanasi, an holy city and capital of the Indian spiritual center. And so the rich man lived in that place, a very rich man, and eventually he got more money than what he had. But this rich man is a spiritual aspirant like us. And so he decided to do charity. So he built dining halls in the 4 directions of the city. So 4 dining halls he built. And he decided to give alms to anybody who comes to eat food. So it is called as wholesome deeds. Welcome, welcome. It is called wholesome deeds. And this man is a rich man, also a sincere follower of Panchashila. A very important concept in Buddhist philosophy. Panchashila, we say. That is why our the Indian emblem is also have the Panchashila. You have 5 lions in that Indian symbol. So that is derived from this concept. So what is Panchashila? The 5 characters. Shila means characters. So 5 characters which Buddha taught to his disciples. That is refraining from taking life. That is non-violence, basically. Then refrain from taking what is not given. That is no stealing, non-stealing. Then refrain from the misuse of the senses. Here we need to understand that Buddha is not telling us not to use the senses. He is telling that we should not misuse it, but rather we have to use it for right purpose. and then refrain from wrong speech. Not that refrain from speech. We have to speak, but always good words, not bad words, or which cause hurt to the others. And refrain from intoxicants that cloud the mind, like smoking, drinking, all other, etc., etc. You all know what it means. So this man is a follower. Rich man is a follower of that. So he instructed his staff members, appointed in each dining hall. He built a dining hall in each direction of the city to give alms to sages, monks, wanderers, whosoever enters the city. So he instructed that you should, follow these when serving food to any alms seeker. At the same time, there lived an enlightened sage in Himalayas. He is called a silent sage. He doesn't speak, Mauna Muni. And he is an enlightened man who has crossed the Ahankara and Mamakara. That is, Sri Ramakrishna said, Kama and Kanchana. He has crossed it, lust and gold. And he always in contemplation of God. He doesn't care for his body and all other physical comforts. So once in a while, to save his body and to continue his godly thoughts, he comes down to village to seek some food with his begging bowl. So this sage is coming to Benares with his big begging bowl to one of the dining hall. The god of death, we can say a temptation or evil in Christian way, Satan. He wants to gender to that man, to that person. Let me say person. So the Lord of Death, that person somehow wants to make this, to bring this Mauna Muni, that is silent stage, under his control, under his power. That means he should give him temptation or somehow kill him. The god of death is not able to kill this fellow because he is so pure, so austere, and so straightforward. There's no chance for this god of death to put him under his power. So the god of death is waiting to capture this man and to put him under his control. So that he comes with a begging bowl to the dining hall and asks, Bhavati Bhikshandehi. Bhavati Bhikshandehi means, Mother, please give me some food. Usually the sages say that in sages, saints, monks, that is how they, that is the title word to ask, as we say, please. So while he was standing in the gate, and our the master, that the rich man, was having his meal, and he heard that sage has come. So immediately he asked his one of his staff member to go and feed him food. As he went there, the staff, when he went, approached, met that sage, he found a big pit with blazing fire in front of him. Who created that? This Lord of Death is preventing him to receive food, because if he receives food, he will survive and he will continue to live. So the Lord of Death decided, I want to somehow kill this fellow, because I'm not able to win this sage. So let me prevent him receiving the alms. So he created a big pit, a mystical pit, and that pit is blazing with fire. and this our staff member carrying a plate of food couldn't approach and give alms to this sage. So he rushed back to his master and informed what he saw. The master was astounded and a bit surprised. How could there be a pit? Let me go and find the fact. So this man went in person and saw that the pit was there. The pit was with the blazing fire. Then our rich man looked towards the sky, and there he saw that the Lord of Death, Yama, you can call him Yama, or Satan. See, Yama is a very nice person, so please don't make him like like an evil character. But Yama means, actual meaning of Yama means who the restraint. Yama means restraint. So Yama is sitting and laughing. And then our rich man asks Yama, so did you create this pit? He says, yes, I created that. So why did you create, sir? Then Yama says, you know why I created? Because I want this sage to die. I am targeting him. He is always, so sincere, and I am not able to conquer him or, put him under my control. So he is so clever, and he is so austere, he is so straightforward. So I want to conquer this fellow. So I will not allow anybody to give food. Also, he says, you are following his teachings of this Panchashila. And by you giving food or charity or alms, you will be marching towards that path of enlightenment. So I want to prevent that also. So that means the Lord of Health wants to establish unrighteousness. So I will not allow you to give alms, nor I will allow this sage to get alms, because I want him to die, and I don't want you to attain enlightenment. This is the deal. So now a lot of death, Lord, in Buddhist concept, they call it as Mara. Mara is the Saturn of Christian worship. So he then he says, he was laughing. Then our rich man said, having heard all these things, the rich man said, O Lord of Death, you cannot make the silent sage to give up his life, nor you cannot prevent my alms giving or practicing this charity. So let us see whose determination is going to win. So he challenges the Lord of Death. And then what did he do? This rich man. So having said this, the rich man continued. The blazing pit is in front of him, and the sage is standing after the pit. He says, O sage, let the truth continue to shine. Please accept my life as my alms to you. And he jumps inside the blazing fire, inside the pit. You accept my life. Now, still I am giving you my alms with the sacrificing my life. The alms is given in form of my death. So, accept, and he jumped happily. So what happened next? The rich man was raised immediately by a beautiful, cooling, blossoming lotus appearing on that blazing fire. And he was not killed. Rather, he gave, and he still had that bowl of plate of food what he carried. And standing on that lotus, he offered alms to that sage. So the rich man's body was shining and shining with blessedness, and he was standing in the center of the lotus, and he offered alms to the silent Muni or sage. So the god of death was defeated by the sincere aspirant. So the moral of the story is we need to be determined and in our spiritual path and meet the challenges with valiance, and that will release us from the birth and death. So Sri Ramakrishna's our gospel of Ramakrishna is going to give that valiance to us and help us to release from this birth and death, or samsara we say. So this is the we need to have that valiance, determination in our spiritual life. Whatever it comes, we need to face it with valor and not to give up our spiritual efforts or sadhanas for simple temptations. So this is the moral of that story. So recapitulating our previous class, so we saw that Sri Ramakrishna is harbinger about Swamiji's achievements, and then also he said Swamiji is Nitya Siddha. Nitya Siddha means established in perfection. So that is, we have Sada Pashyanti Surayah. So Purusha Shuktam says that. Sada Pashyanti means all the time they are seeing the Brahman. Seeing means not like the way I see you or you see me. They are in the perfect harmony. For example, how to understand this? Sun and our earth. So sun and earth is in perfect harmony and it rotates in the same orbit. So like that, the Nitya Siddhas or Nitya Suris all the time think about the Brahman. So we saw that terms Nitya Siddhas, and then third is Sri Ramakrishna could not understand the modern logical reasoning and explained by him. So this kind of modern logics Sri Ramakrishna doesn't understand. Then fourth, Sri Ramakrishna went into Samadhi when Swamiji was singing. So with that we stopped in the last class. So now we are in the page 89 of the first chapter. First, that is Master and Disciple, is the first chapter, and we are in the page 89. So I'm reading somewhere from the middle. The Master shuddered when this last line was sung. His hair stood on end, and tears of joy streamed down his cheeks. Now and then his lips parted in a smile. Was he seeing the peerless beauty of God that shames the splendor of million moons? Was this the vision of God, the essence of spirit? How much austerity and discipline, how much faith and devotion must be necessary for such a vision? So, as we saw in that story, this rich man, he was a practicer of that Panchashila, 5 characters. And the moment anyone who practiced those, the important spiritual, what do you call it? We may call it as a spiritual support. We will have the vision of God. So that determination, that faith the one has towards achievement of God realization. So then Swamiji sings. The song went on. The worship is, I'm reading from the gospel. Worship is feet in the lotus of your heart, with mind serene and eyes made radiant. with heavenly love, behold the matchless sight. Again that bewitching smile, the body motionless as before, the eyes half shut as if beholding a strange inner vision. The song drew to close. Narendra sang the last lines, caught in the spell of his love's ecstasy. Immerse yourself for evermore, O mind, in him who is pure knowledge and pure bliss. The sight of the Samadhi and the divine bliss he had witnessed, that is, Yam is witnessing, left an indelible impression on M's mind. He returned home deeply moved. Now and then he could hear within himself the echo of those soul intoxicating lines. Immerse yourself for evermore, O mind, in him who is pure knowledge and pure bliss. Here, the description of Hari in human form. Last class, I told you what is exactly the meaning of Hari, commented by Shankaracharya and Madhvacharya. So, here, thinking that Supreme Being, Brahman, who is not in one, who has not one particular form, he has everything as his form, as his forms. So, but thinking that God or Brahman in a human form is much easier. And that will help us to do the deification. Swamiji always says, deification. When you see everyone, deify them as God. So, to deify every human being as God, then we have to think that God also in the form of human form. So, which is easier, and it is a prasanna rupa or benign form. So, how do we get convinced with that? Bhagavad Gita says that. Bhagavad Gita itself gives us that authority to think Brahman in human form. The sloka. Drishtvedvam manusham rupam tava saumya janardhana idanim asmi samvrittaha sachetaha prakritim gataha. So Arjuna said, "Oh Krishna, seeing your gentle human form is a gentle human form, that is two-armed form. We all have two arms, so it's a gentle human form. I have regained my composure and my mind and is restored to normalcy." So he feels comfortable. So we all feel comfortable when we think that immeasurable Achintya Rupa of Brahman in a human form. This is the testimony given by Arjuna himself. After seeing the universal form, the 11th chapter, as all the innumerable forms of Bhagavan, and at last he says, seeing you in a human form gives me my great composure and peace in my mind. So that is why Sri Ramakrishna used to say that God is manifested in Manusha Rupa, so that it is easy for us to think that way. So now our Yam is having the fourth visit with Sri Ramakrishna. So far, 3 visits have been completed. This is the 4th visit in the first chapter of the Gospel. So before going to the 4th visit, let us just recap what happened in that 3 visits, the previous 3 visits, quickly. And then it will help us to continue what all happened. So I'm just going to highlight the incidents and the statements conveyed by Sri Ramakrishna during those visits to Yam. The first visit is Yam and Sidhu. Sidhu is his cousin or somebody who is accompanying Yam. First time he is visiting Dakshineshwar. And there he saw Sri Ramakrishna sitting in his room. He was hesitant to enter. That Vrinde is a maid servant who is sweeping the courtyard. And this our M is more like a modern educator. He was working in that English medium schools. The medium of instruction is in English, so he maintained that Victorian style of introduction and entering into anybody's room like that. So then he saw Sri Ramakrishna. The metaphor given in that gospel is like this: that Ramakrishna is with a fishing rod, sitting in the bank and trying to fish from that lake or pond or river. I would say river because Ganges is the biggest river flowing next to Dakshineshwar. So he is trying to fish. What is that? What is that symbol? What is that symbolizes to us? He is trying to fish the sincere aspirants out of that samsara. Like we are all sincere aspirants. That is why we are sitting here today and trying to listen to Sri Ramakrishna. So we are going to catch his bite, and he's going to lift us out of that big ocean of samsara. So that was the first scene, first visit which M experienced. Then he makes the second visit to Sri Ramakrishna. Second visit, 3 questions Sri Ramakrishna asked. The first question asked, "Are you married?" Immediately, our M got it. He felt ashamed to say that he is married. But Ramakrishna is asking that question not to make him feel ashamed. He wants to test him how he is going to convey or understand the meaning of mamakara. Usually we say, "Oh, I am from this family. I have this asset. I have, who do you think I am? I am from this family. How dare you say about?" So this all our possessions gives us that prevents us to think that this entire world belongs to Brahman. So that mamakara plays a biggest role, and that will help us to attain understand the nature of the matter. Matter is eternally changing. So, first question is, "Are you married?" is to test what is the level of his mamakara. Then he actually fails in that because because he is not boasting, but he felt ashamed, and he did not say like what Ramakrishna expected, that all belongs to God. That was the answer he expected, but he says I have I have my family and all this, like a normal answer. Then the second question he asks, "Is your wife knowledgeable?" How knowledgeable your wife is. Then immediately he says, "Oh, my wife's knowledge is not that level. She's not educated." Then immediately ask, "Are you educated? Do you know everything?" So the second question is now going to the nature of that question is to test his ahankara. The first was mamakara, that is minus mind. Second question is I know everything. This fellow doesn't know anything. What I say is correct. All others are idiots, or they don't have knowledge. All others are wrong. I am right. So we have that concept, but we don't understand that our knowledge is also subjected to the contraction and expansion based on our karma influence. So he is indirectly trying to teach the nature of the Jivatma. That is the second question significance. Third is usual question he asks to most of the devotees, whether the God is with form or without form. Yeah, what form do you like? Or how do you see God? So this is to test the aspirant's understanding of nature of Brahman. So that is Ajit Swarupam, that is insentient being's nature, then sentient being's nature, and the third question is about the Brahman's nature or God's nature. These are the three vital questions we need to know if we want to start the Vedantic exposition. Any Vedantic teacher must start with this. What is matter? What is individual souls? And individual soul, living beings, includes all three divisions. That is plant kingdom, animal kingdom, human kingdom. And then the third is what is the concept of how to understand Brahman. So whether Brahman is transcendental or immanent, with form, without form. When you say without form, of course, there are formless. You say formless, there are lots of differences of opinion. So when you say form and formless means, form means one particular form. Formless means it is not negating that form. You can, that is, if you want to understand Shankaracharya's way, then you can put it as negation. There's affirmation also, which says that formless means any number of forms. When you say countless means, what does that mean? It is uncountable. Suppose I ask you, show an hair. So you take one hair and show. I have my hair, which is equivalent to form. Then if I ask you how many hairs you have on your body, can anybody count? Immediately you will say countless. That doesn't mean that you don't have hair. There are many hairs which is on our body. So we say it is countless. So the hair is not negated there. The hair, individual hair is as many there. So it is countless. So this is how we have to understand. So Ramakrishna clearly says that Brahman is both immanent and transcendental at the same time. He is near to us and at the same time everywhere. That applies only to Brahman. That is the uniqueness of Brahman. That is why we call him as Advaita. Now, then he also says, Ramakrishna states in the second visit, do all your, sorry, this is the second visit, right? This is, where are we? This is in, yes, this is second visit. We are in second visit. So in the second visit, he says, do all your duties. Keep your mind on God. Live with all, wife, children, father, mother, and serve them. A very important statement, Sri Ramakrishna says. And Ramakrishna also states in the second visit, 3 attractions we need as a combined force to attain God. What are the 3 attractions? First, he says, attraction of worldly possession for the worldly man. Second attraction of child towards its mother. Third, attraction of chaste wife for her husband. So what are the 3 things, 3 attractions referred to in our Vedantic way? First is Karma Yoga, second is Jnana Yoga, and third is Bhakti Yoga. First is Karma Yoga, the worldly possession. How worldly possession, the attraction of worldly possession to a worldly man or for the worldly man refers to Karma Yoga. He works all the time. We have to do Karma Yoga. And then attraction of child towards mother, Jnana Yoga. The child and mother are so inseparable. And all the time, the child is constant, yearns for that mother's attention. So that is the knowledge which where it is equivalent to knowledge. We need to always look for the Brahman. He is the ultimate knowledge. And third is attraction of chaste wife for her husband. The loyal, faithful wife always have that loyalty and devotion towards her husband. So that is Bhakti Yoga. And Ramakrishna says attractions has to be a combined force. Not you can select one and be happy. No choice there. All three has to combine. So we have a beautiful slogam which says Karma Yoga Tapas Tirtha Dana Yajnadi Sevanam Jnana Yoga Jitaswantahi Parishuddha Atmani Sthitihi Bhakti Yoga Parama Ekanta Pritya Jnanadisu Sthitihi Trayanam Api Yoganam Tribirin Anyonya Sangama. So he talks about the three yogas has to combine to get the vision of God. There is no choice. That is why our Ramakrishna order emblem, Swamiji created the four yogas to be combined and you get the vision of Paramahamsa. That is spiritual swan. Swamiji, based on these facts, he framed that logo of Ramakrishna order. And the third visit. So first is over, second over, the third visit. M is now profoundly impressed now. Slowly his faith is building on Sri Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna has made him intoxicated and like an addiction. Like I hope we also have that addiction towards the again. See, I'm not here to propagate Ramakrishna as another god. Please don't have that in mind. Please choose your own idea. If Shiva is your ideal god, please go ahead with that. If Krishna is your ideal god, please go ahead. Buddhist, Buddha. Mohammedan, because Swamiji clearly said in one of his letters, I am not here to make Sri Ramakrishna as another god to this world. And I don't bother if people, I don't bother if they don't accept Ramakrishna as their god. The best tribute is adhere to the faith and follow the spiritual wisdom to any ideal you choose. That itself is a tribute to Sri Ramakrishna. See, that is the aim of Swamiji's message. Buddhist to be a better Buddhist. Islam, a Mohammedan to be a better Mohammedan. A Christian to be a better Christian. Not that he has to convert and embrace Ramakrishna as his God and put his own ideal in a dustbin. That is not the aim at all. So the third visit, M is profoundly impressed. Now he hears that the famous story of Sri Ramakrishna, that elephant and Mahu. So which establishes seeing God in all. And also see the difference and live. Don't think that elephant is the tiger is God and don't embrace. The moment you embrace tiger, you know what will happen to you. We all know. So let us salute the tiger God from distance. The second he talks about this is Ramakrishna's famous story, Brahmachari and the novice and a snake. In that he says, don't bite, but hiss. You need not hurt, but at least save yourself by hissing. That's very important. So let us use our tamasic faculties to save ourselves That is tamasic faculty means anger and kind of hurting others. Hurting means just like how mother scolds a child. I will kill you. I will beat you. That doesn't mean that mother will do it. It's just threatening the child to make the child, come to the control. The third, then Sri Ramakrishna talks about the four devotees. Bounded, seekers after liberation, second. Third, the liberated, and fourth is Nitya Siddhas. So that is Baddha devotees, bounded. Second is seekers after liberation. We all are. And third is already liberated, like our gurus, incarnate saints, seers, whoever we acknowledge and believe on them, and Nitya Siddhas, who are ever perfect. So Sri Ramakrishna talks about four kinds of devotees. And now comes the fourth visit of M in Sri Ramakrishna's room. Let us see what he experiences. So we have a famous sloka from Bhagavad Gita. Yam ladva chaparam labam mandyatena adhikam tapah. Yasmin sitona dukkena guruna api vichalyate. So beautiful sloka. What is it means that having gained what he thinks that is no greater than anything, that has made him to establish with an unshaken faith and with even the profoundest affliction. So now his faith is so established on Sri Ramakrishna. Now he is caught. Ramakrishna is going to say a beautiful metaphor of the state of Sri M's mind. I'm reading from the Gospel. The next day, too, was a holiday for M because he works in a school. So he comes to meet Sri Ramakrishna during those days. So we have to imagine all these things as though that it is happening now. He arrived at Dakshineshwar at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So Ramakrishna was in his room. Narendra, Bhavanath, and a few other devotees were sitting on a mat spread on the floor. They were all young men of 19 and 20. And seated on a small couch, Sri Ramakrishna was talking with them and smiling. No sooner had M entered the room than the master laughed aloud and said to the boys, "There he has come again." And they all joined in the laughter. M bowed low before him and took a seat. Before this, he had saluted the master with folded hands. Before, he used to do this way. And now he is doing the Satsang pranam, like our Indian tradition. In India, whenever we meet saints and seers, even elders, we first offer our pranams like that. Just, like a stick falling on the ground. You've seen a stick falling. So that's how we do. That's how the traditional Oriental gesture. So he did that to Sri Ramakrishna. But that day he learned to fall down at his feet in orthodox Hindu fashion. Presently, the master explained the cause of his laughter to the devotees. He said, "A man once fed a peacock with a pill of opium at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The next day, exactly at that time, the peacock came back. And it had felt the intoxication of the drug and returned just in time to have other dose." So M thought this is a very apt illustration. And even at home, he had been unable to banish the thought of Sri Ramakrishna for a moment. and his mind was constantly at Dakshineshwar, and he had counted the minutes until he should go again. So look at how profound, deep Sri Ramakrishna's influence, and we all should experience this. And I sincerely pray to his lotus feet that to give that blessings on all of us. So that, in fact, you see, it is a very fact of life. It happened. I mean, I just want to share this because in our ashram at 4 o'clock I used to have tea. So when I have my tea, I used to sit outside. We have 2 seats there, so I used to sit, and I used to feed squirrels. 4 o'clock I used to feed. So I used to have peanuts. So sometimes, I'm delayed. Sometimes I come down to, I come at around 3:50 and make tea and take my cup and sit there. Sometimes, due to some reasons, I am delayed. But the squirrel, around 4:05, I used to start. The squirrel, one day I was preparing my tea at 4:30. Then I just saw outside. The squirrel was already sitting near that chair. And so obediently it is looking at me. And sometimes, it used to come and knock the glass door. So when I saw that, I remembered our Sri Ramakrishna's beautiful metaphor. So we should have that, that Shraddha and Bhakti of continuous thought. So this is the influence of the great people. So when divine grace is blowing upon us, and we become almost like a puppet in the hands of Lord. So this is our yardstick. Are we able to remember God all the time? Is our mind is yearning all the time? This is the yardstick. If it is not happening, then we have to change our way of life, way of our sadhana, everything. Whatever the ideal you might follow, whether it is in philosophical, if we have differences, whichever philosophy you follow or whichever the religion you might follow, but this is mandatory. So once happened in the story of Swami Kailasananda. Kailasananda was a vice president of our order. And I want to share this because very profound. So when he was novice, he was in the final year of his novitiate. So usually in Belur Math, we give sannyasa, that is final ordination. Sannyasa ceremony is held on the night of the Sri Ramakrishna's birthday. Suppose today is his birthday, tonight will be the ordination ceremony. On that year, that time when Kailasananda was novice, the president was Swami Shivananda. We call him as Mahapurusha Maharaj. The name was given by Swamiji himself. Because he looked like Shiva and he had all Mahapurusha and a great monk of our order. And if you have time, you can read out one day we can discuss about his life also. So is for some reason he changed the date of ordination from Ramakrishna's birthday, that falls maybe either on February or March, to Kali Puja day. Kali Puja falls on November or somewhere end of November or the beginning of November, something. There's a big gap. So most of the monks were upset. Why president changed this? Nobody can dare to question. And because elders will do certain things for their own way. And Sivananda is not just an ordinary man to think like us. He has some reason. But our Kailasananda, when he was novice, he was desperate. why did Swami do this? So let me go and ask him. So he went and asked, Swami, why have you changed? If I am Muslim, I would never go and ask this question to President Maharaj. I don't know how much courage he had. I cannot even imagine. So he went and asked bravely to Shivananda, Mahapurush Maharaj. Then he said, see, I am the lawmaker and rules maker, and I can also be a rule breaker. Okay. So he just stopped with that. Then he asked, do you want to have ordination or no? What do you think? Then he said, okay, Swamiji, I want to have ordination. And I surrender, I want to have. Then just a day before the Kali Puja, he called him. Hey, Swami remembers this guy, our Kailasanand, who was a novice. And he called him to his room and asked, okay, tomorrow is your ordination. So, okay, what names do you want me to give? Such questions, we never get that privilege at all. But you see the concern of that song. Even for the age difference is almost 50 years between Kailashananda and President Maharaj. And so humbly he is asking, what name should I give you? Then he said, my name is Shivananda. So I will give you a name as Kailashananda. So he is even making him like his abode. He was so happy, our Kailashananda. The next day, ordination over. And later, in 1976, he was the vice president. Kailashananda lived in Chennai for a long time. And he passed away in our Chennai ashram. And he used to say how profound this the influence of Shivananda in his life. Whenever he gives a lecture, even talk, he will start with this, like this. Shivananda ji used to say this. Shivananda ji used to, do some work like this. Every time he wants to put Shivananda ji at beginning of every sentence he spoke. And even when he exits his room and enter, he will see Shivananda's photo. And every 3 minutes, 4 minutes, he will be looking at his photo. It's a fact. People have observed. And even when he goes to restroom and enters in and out, he will offer salutations to Shivananda. Every day he did. This is what the intoxication, the influence of the spiritual intoxication. Something beyond our conception. The Guru Bhakti he had. He was his initiated Guru and also Sannyasa Guru. And Guru Bhakti he had towards this Swami is astounding and so profound. And so this is, I just want to tell you how that intoxication, like the peacock metaphor, applies in spiritual aspirants' life. So, and this is another intoxication we can find from Krishna and Mirabai. Mirabai was born as a in a Rajput family of Rajasthan. Yeah, I think year is 1498, around that time. And when she was 4 years old, she attended a marriage. And she saw the marriage was conducted. And she asked so innocently, 4 years old child asking her mother, who will be my groom? Then the mother said, oh, see, look at that idol, Krishna. Krishna will be your groom. That one particular sentence was enough for her. And she was intoxicated with that bhakti she had towards Krishna. And she literally believed, oh, my groom is Krishna. I will be married to Krishna. That small child believed so firmly. And then she had that belief. With that belief, she grew and she became around 14, 15 years old teenager. And she got married to a person called, what is that? Rana Sangha. Rana Sangha. Her husband name is Rana Sangha. And he was a king. And she was a queen. And Meera couldn't concentrate in her normal life, how a husband and wife should live. She couldn't do that. All that time she was intoxicated with thought of Krishna. And Rana Sangha could not tolerate her thought of the Krishna's bhava, or Krishna's intoxication. So one day he wanted to kill her. He asked actually, dear, what can I give to you for your birthday? Why it is wife's birthday? The husband has to give. Then she says, you please build a temple for me. Then he honored. Very good husband. He honored. He built a beautiful Krishna temple. And then she spent all of her time in bhajan, singing, composition. She serves her husband, and the rest she will come and sit in the temple. And her husband could not tolerate. So he was missing, and she was yearning for her for other reasons. Then he got irritated, and he thought, let me blast or bomb this temple. And he brought cannons and opened fire out of this anger. Nothing happened because of that faith. Then Meera thought, okay, you have come to this level of killing me and the devotees of Lord. So she humbly said, I cannot be a eligible wife and to your life. You please release me, and I will go in my own way. And she goes from Rajasthan to Gujarat, that is Dwaraka, that is western side, and then she merges in with Krishna. So that is her life, and also other intoxication can come in negative way also, like Hiranyakashipu, Shishubala, who always thought about God but in negative way, challenging them. My aim is only to destroy God. So that destruction of God was there. They are intoxicated with that. Even to such people, God was, showed the blessedness. So let us continue. In the meantime, the master was having great fun with the boys, treating them as if they were his most intimate friends. Peals of side-splitting laughter filled the room as if it were a mark of joy. The whole thing was a revelation to him, he thought. Didn't I see him only yesterday intoxicated with God? See the doubts now M is having. Wasn't he swimming then in the ocean of divine love? A sight I had never seen before. So far, he has seen Sri Ramakrishna very seriously talking about God and about the various spiritual sadhanas one has to do to attain God. So it was more like a very serious conversation. And then now the entire scene is different. A sight I had never seen before. And today the same person is behaving like an ordinary man. Wasn't it he? Wasn't it he who scolded me on the first day of my coming here? Didn't he admonish me, saying, "And you are a man of knowledge"? And wasn't it he who said to me that God with form is as true as God without form? He's recalling all the questions which he had uh, with Ramakrishna during second visit. Didn't he tell me that God alone is real? The world is an illusory. Brahma Satya, Jagan Mithya. Then wasn't he who advised me to live in the world unattached like a maid servant in a rich man's house? That story will also he says. But now I see him like laughing and enjoying with all the youngsters. So what happened to all his thoughts? Then see here, M thinks that the man of knowledge, the man Jnani we call as, should always be completely ignorant of this world, and he should sit in one corner and contemplate, I am Brahman, and this world doesn't exist. That's what he thought. He thought spirituality means like that. But Ramakrishna will later say that first you see this world as an illusion means to develop unattachment to the worldly matters and to focus that attachment towards God. Then you will start seeing that the whole world is a mansion of mirth. When unselfishness when selfishness is expanded, then we will start loving each and everyone. For example, a person before marriage person focused only on him or her. Then slowly the person gets married. Then the expansion of selfishness to the partner. My partner, my wife, my husband. Let's go together. Let us share our happiness. So we started expanding our selfishness. Then a child comes. Now we have three. First one, then two, then three, then four. Then when we start expanding it to the whole world, all the entire world is my family. No one is stranger. Then look at the joy we get. That is the stage of Sri Ramakrishna. For him, there is no selfishness at all. So everything, whosoever who met, he was, that when we start expanding, that is indescribable. How the joy is, distributed. So Ramakrishna was in that. When we are selfish, we have fear. When we are unselfish, there is no fear. When we are selfish, we have lust and desire. When we are unselfish, we don't have any problem at all. It once happened in Vedanta Desika's, not Vedanta Desika, one of the Ramanuja's disciples. Ramanuja's disciple, his name is Kuresha. Kuresha is Kuratarda. He was a very rich man. And he used to have dinner, lunch, breakfast only in gold plate, not in our stainless steel. That's all, nothing. Gold plate, and his wife is adorned with gold jewelries, diamonds, sapphires, all kinds of jewelry. And yeah, this Kuresa is just not rich, very charitable person, generous person. He serves, he doesn't want to chop even that, what is that? Banana leaf for, in India, they serve food in banana leaf. It is biodegradable. But this man doesn't want to even chop the leaves from that banana tree, because banana tree is sacred, and also it is not, it's a different kind of tree. It's a unique tree when compared to normal tree. So he even served the wayfarers in gold plate. And he is so charitable that 24 hours he employed people to serve food. Now we have restaurants, motels, hotels. On the way we stop, eat and go. In those days, they never had such concepts. So he used to give them food. So Ramanuja, after obtaining his sannyasa, he visits this place. He was in Kanchipuram, nearby Kanchipuram. And the moment he saw Ramanuja, he immediately surrendered. And let me also become your disciple. Then Ramanuja said, you have to give up all your earth, wealth, everything, because I am a monk. If you want to follow me, you have to give up all your wealth. There is no room for this I and mind here. Then immediately Kuresa, in traditional way we call this Kurata. Kuresa with his wife. His wife name is Sri Devi. Sri Devi. I'm not sure, maybe Sri Devi. He immediately said to his people, the entire palace belongs to you, the whole village. Anybody can walk in, take whatever they want, and they followed. They did not take anything with them, just whatever they were wearing, they followed behind Rama. So on the way, it was a dense forest. Then Sri Devi was a bit afraid. She was frightened. And she says to her husband, dear, I'm little afraid. Then immediately her husband asked, why are you afraid of? That means you must have something hidden with you. What is that you are holding without my knowledge? Then she takes out beautiful gold cup from her sari and shows to her husband. Then the husband said, where did this come from? Then our wife says, dear, see, this is your favorite cup. You have your food every day in this gold cup. So I thought at least I will make you happy. So I will take this cup with you. So wherever we are, I can serve food in this cup. Then immediately Kuresa says, you know why you got this panicness? Because of this gold cup. Throw it away. We have the greatest wealth of Ramanuja. And whatever he provides, we will eat. Why we should have this gold cup? This gold cup going to give us anything? Because of this selfishness, you got this fear. Throw away that. We don't need this. When we are unselfish, there is no fear. And the whole world is our mansion of God. We can enjoy anybody's company when there is no lust and the gold involved. So Sri Ramakrishna's state was in that. the selfishness in an expanded condition. So he cares for everybody. He gave importance to all, and everyone is his family, belongs to his family, and that is why Holy Mother says, "Nobody is stranger. The whole world is your home." So with this, we complete today. Mangalam Desikendraya, Eminam Chakravartine, Parasakti Swarupine, Devye Masre Chamantam, Sarve Jana Sukino Bhavantu, Samantasan Mangalani Bhavantu. Let all be happy and let all auspicious prevails with everyone. Om Tat Sat.
We will end with the Arati. Gahore Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam. Gahore Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam. Adiye Shubhadina Miliye Bhakata Jana. Adiye Shubhadina Miliye Bhakata Jana. Gaho Gaho Rama Krishna Nam. Gaho Re Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam. Gaho Re Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam. Rama Krishna Name, Rama Krishna Preme, Rama Krishna Name, Rama Krishna Preme, Matiya Otaga Bharadha, Kahore, Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam, Kahore, Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam. Harite Bhubhar Premavatar, Harite Bhubhar Premavatar, Prabhu Rama Krishna Gunadam Gahore, Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam, Gahore, Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam. Jai Rama Jai Krishna Vishwa Guru Rama Krishna Jai Rama Jai Krishna Vishwa Guru Rama Krishna Ekadare Shama Shiva Sham Kahore Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam Gahore Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna Nam. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji ki, Jai Shri Mahamai ki, Jai Shri Swamiji Maharaj Ji ki, Jai Shri Shri Durga Mai ki.
It's not leaving. How do you leave?